plays deep into this game.
Nice job defensively, Utah State holding BYU just 28 first half points.
BYU's known to, you look at what they did last year and what they did in their exhibition games is they score a lot of points and they let a lot of people score a lot of points on them. But defensively, BYU's done a pretty good job. As we only have one team reaching 30 points and one at 28, so both teams playing very well.
Definitely the tempo, though, that Stu feels more comfortable with. Trying to get inside to Grimm, back outside. Brunel for three, left it short.
Well, Brunel's going to get the start here in the second half rather than Thornton, who started the game.
Team's high score with 8 points. Couple of threes and a deuce. Here's Davies, really not much of a factor because of those fouls in that first half.
He went out early and he never came back in. We'll see what he does here in the second half. He's had the ball twice already.
Just 6 minutes in that first half for Brandon Davies. But Noah Hartsock now in double figures with 10 points.
Hartsock steps back and hits that 19-foot jump shot, fading away with the defender right in his face. Great shooter. See BYU, they're staying in their zone defensively. Something that was very beneficial for them in the first half. The Aggies had a hard time scoring, trying to get the ball in high post.
Well, Jardine lost it going up. Hartsock tied up. It'll be BYU basketball. Just beginning here in the second half. Dave Rose's team minus Jimmer Fredette and Embry.
See Jardine challenged right there by Abuo. Jardine doesn't get challenged much with his leaping ability. Right there, Grimm fighting for that ball. Maybe pulled Hartsock down a bit.
Of course, the Aggies without their core players for it seemed like forever. Ty Wesley, Tyler Newbold, Crew Williams, Formasano, Nate Bender. All those guys already graduated and gone. Played so many games, the winningest senior class in Aggie history. And it's been an intriguing first half as Grimm called for the foul.
Well, they're going to give that foul to Mitch Brunel coming from backside to help. Grimm did a good job just standing straight up. You see Brunel comes in from behind and reaches in on Davies, and that's where they get the foul.
Getting the treatment from the herd. I see Darth Vader up there. Michael Jordan has made an appearance. Davies at the line. Short. He said in an interview, I like hostile places. If he can handle the spectrum, he'll be fine the rest of the season.
I think I see Paris Hilton in an Aggie tank top.
Davies, of course, suspended for the final 8 games of the season. Coming back and starting for Dave Rose's squad. And one of the better post players really in the nation. I think he's ranked something like the 30th best big man in the West.
Well, he's got a great wingspan, and he's got great post moves.
Here's Grimm inside. Rogers. Ball deflected off of Brocky Payne. It'll be BYU basketball.
That zone is causing problems for the Aggies offensively. They're doing a good job moving to spots defensively. The Aggies just got to get that ball around the perimeter to the short corners and into the high post.
Rogers to Hartsock. Boy, got another one. I have been very impressed with Noah Hartsock.
Well, he's got a good face-up game to go along with what he worked on post moves. Last year you didn't see him really bang like he's been doing tonight. Shoots the 3 ball. He's showing us a tremendous versatility.
Utah State yet to score here in the second half. Field goal percentages improving for BYU. Remember, they started early in the game. It was just 33%. Blocked by Rogers. Couldn't save it. He's out of bounds. It'll stay with Utah State.
Well, that's where Rogers' length can play a big role in this ball game. We mentioned it before. 6'8" wing guy, Preston Medlin, not a shabby shooter. And you'll see right there, Rogers extends that big left-handed paw out there and blocks Medlin.
Here's Brocky. Banks it in. That was kind of a weakness of his game a season ago, only shooting 21% from three-point range. Aggies needed that one tied up at 33. And Davies turns it over Grimm.
Great job by Grimm. to not get pushing Davies. Davies is leaning into him. That's something Davies does well. He gets a lot of offensive fouls, but he uses his body so well. Got caught moving that pivot foot as Grimm just fell down. Got out of his way.
Both teams struggling with the outside shot. Here's Grimm inside off the window, and it's good by Morgan Grimm. Back-to-back good plays by Morgan. And the Aggies lead now in the second half. Davies. The bucket will count, and a chance for a three-point play for Brandon Davies.
Well, Morgan Grimm's the king at drawing charges, and right there, he might have got caught flopping as Davies spins into him. We'll get a look right here. Watch as Davies posts up and spins back. I don't know, there's a lot of contact there. See Rich Pernil gets his second foul for reaching in and grabbing on Davies' hands, and the strength of Davies able to finish that.
And this is last time Davies played in a regular season game was February 26th of 2011. Been saddled with foul troubles in the first half. Able to get the line home here as we're tied up at 35. Approaching 16 minutes in this second half. Here's Payne. Another three. Off the back of the iron. Zylstra with a rebound. Really not the strong part of his game. Gets it inside. And Hartsack with the jam.
You know, that's what Coach Rose talked about. Is Zylstra really came into his own as a point guard. Showed us his passing ability when we went to Greece this summer.
Offensive foul is going to be called on Grimm. Grimm contesting that. Abuo pushed him. 15:37 remaining in this second half. BYU with a 2-point advantage. Back to the Spectrum after this. 15:37 remaining. Noah Hartsock, 14 points to lead everybody in the ball game. Look at some of the work he's been able to do against the Aggies.
Well, Hartsock, Twin Falls, is a tremendous post player, doing a lot of good things. And right here, he's showing you his versatility, stepping out, knocking down the shot. Zylstra gives it to him for the flush. He's having a tremendous game. He's got 14 points, but for a guy of his size, he only has 1 rebound.
7 of 9 shooting, however. And again, he has 14 points in 20 minutes as BYU turns it over. Here's Jardine. Jardine had a team-high 25 dunks a season ago. That's his first.
Boy, that's one to get this crowd going.
Davies inside.
Now they're going to get Grimm with a foul. That's going to be Grimm's 3rd foul. Davies really working the paint. This is something that he did. Look at that pass coming from Brock Heath. And Jardine goes airborne and throws it down. That's something, talking about Davies, what he did really well in the Dixie State game.
Makes good on the first. Yeah, he gets to the line, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. He had 20 points, only 4 made baskets. So he got to the free throw line and got 12 points off free throws.
What makes Davies so good, Brooks?
Well, I think it's just his wingspan, and right there, he's going to have his hands full as they're bringing in Jordan Stone. This is the first we've seen him, another true freshman. The Stone and Davies had a battle in the state tournament, and I believe Davies got the best of him. We'll see if Stone plays with some urgency. Stone, all of 6'11" and 3/4, and he's about 180 pounds, solid still. I mean, that is just a brick house body, something that you would dream to have if you want to play post.
Medlin open look at a 3. Stone with a rebound and a whistle inside.
Stone immediately makes the presence known. Hartsock gets called, trying to box out that big body. I'll tell you what, you're not going to move somebody that's 280 pounds like Stone is at 6'11". That's going to be tough. The kid's a brick house. If he can just control that body, he could be good.
Contested pass there. Jardine had it knocked away, but got it back where Stone from nearby Smithfield, Utah, started Skyview High School, and you mentioned it. He and Davies had a matchup in the high school state tournament.
And Stone was a great high school player. Consistency was what they wanted to see out of him. He had games where he scored 40 points and 20 rebounds, and they had games with just 10 points and 3 or 4 rebounds. I don't know how that ball got turned over. That looked like it was off of, a Buo.
BYU basketball, 14.5 to play, second half. 38-37. And this will be another Aggie foul.
Now Medlin's going to get called with his second personal foul.
So that's one of the things that you found fascinating in the first half is the foul issues. That's continued here in the second half. Rogers rimming out. Ball knocked around. Who wants it more? It's going to be a tie ball situation. Utah State on the alternating possession arrow. The Utah State women's basketball team will host their first regular season home game on Wednesday, November 16th as they take on Weber State. Tip-off is set for 7 p.m. in the Spectrum. Adult admission $5, youth admission $1. For more information, call 188-U-STATE-1 or visit UtahStateAggies.com. Utah State chance to take the lead this possession. Here's Medlin. The runner. Offensive foul is going to be called on Preston Medlin. Another offensive foul.
That's going to be Medlin's third foul. He just hasn't been able to get going offensively. And you'll take a look. Jardine, a little skip pass across the key, and here comes Medlin. Davies, looked like he's moving into him.
So BYU basketball here with 14 minutes to play. Hartsock, back iron. Stone with another rebound. Very raw offensive game, but boy, his body's such a presence down low. Gets it inside. Blocked from behind, but Abdul got a piece of him.
Well, you like the aggression coming from Stone. I mean, the big fella catches the ball down low and immediately attacks the basket. Look at Jardine. Nice little hold-up pass, a little give and go to the big fella, and Stone goes up, tries to block it, and Abuo from behind. As good as a defender as Abuo is, that's only his first foul.
Short on the first free throw. One more coming up for Stone. Maryland checks out. Thosby comes in for Stu.
You know, this is a defensive battle. Neither team shooting the lights out.
Banked it in. Welcome to the Spectrum. Jordan Stone, his first point as an Aggie. And he's tied this ball game up at 38 points apiece. Then whistle inside.
You know, in the first half, at one point, there was 10 team fouls for BYU and 5 for Utah State. Now, Utah State team fouls, only 2 for BYU. It's like the causes have flip-flopped on the foul situation. And once again, it's Davies at the foul line. Boy, does he find himself there a lot.
Missed it. Stone with good positioning. And Brock Keith Payne comes up with it. Might see him be a little bit more aggressive in the second half. Brock Keith had 4 first half turnovers and just that 1 assist. He can get things going here in the second. Launches a 3. Back iron. Tracked down by Hartsock. Here's Abuo. Rogers open for 3. He missed it. Offensive rebound, second chance. And they might call this on Jardine. They do.
It's going to be Jardine's second foul. Awful lot of ball, but credit Hartsock for attacking the rim. And Noah's having a great game, but the thing is it's another offensive rebound. Jardine might have got him on the hand. But the officials, they're going to hear it from the Spectrum. They're going to hear it from the fans right now because they're not liking the calls. Nothing going their way.
Hartsock makes the first. Out of Bartlesville, Oklahoma. And he's given the Cougars a 2-point advantage. We're inside 13 minutes in the second half. Dosby deflected by Rogers. Payne picks it up. Beautiful run, but he's going to be called for another offensive foul. Oh, my.
Boy, and Davies' feet were right in the circle, but Brennan Davies, he's got 2 fouls. He's doing what he can to set his feet. Brocky Payne, that's the 3rd time that he's been called with an offensive foul. Something that this zone defense that BYU's running has done has not allowed Brock Heath to penetrate. He can't get into the lane and do what he does best.
It made him so effective. Here's an offensive call against BYU.
And that's going to be Steven Rogers' 3rd foul.
Foul on number 12. Foul on 21, Steven Rogers, his 3rd. 13 foul.
Jardine's going to the bench for the first time tonight. See how his condition, you can tell he's playing with some urgency right now. Jardine wants this game. He knows he's senior leader.
And last year, this is where you would turn to, Ty Wesley to kind of stem the tide here on this lull that they have. The assists, 12-6 BYU. It's not very good looks so far for the Aggies in the second half. Here's Payne. Out of bounds. It'll stay with Utah State.
One thing that lengthy teams do, and I'm speaking of BYU's perimeter players at 6'6", 6'8", 6'5", with long wingspans, is when they play that zone, it makes it so hard to move the ball because they're length. It reminds you of, they could be a great defensive team in man-to-man defense, but that length in the zone is really causing havoc.
Shot clock down to 2. Payne unable to get the runner. Offensive rebound by Brunel. BYU comes up with it. Zostra attacking Brock Heath out of bounds. It'll stay with BYU. Brock Heath can't believe it. 11:44 remaining in the second half. 40-38. BYU on top. Welcome back inside the D. Glenn Smith Spectrum. Of course, I mentioned moments ago, this is the point in the game where you can go to Ty Wesley or Crane or Williams or Newbold or Bendel or Formasano was solid. But look at the totals at the very bottom. 48 points a game and 23 rebounds. Graduated.
That's impressive. And that's what Stu's talked about all year is I've got to fill that. I've got to find young guys that haven't been in the system, and those guys were in the system for what he said about 18 years, and what it seemed like, just because they went on missions and were here and redshirted, and they've just really got to understand the program, and so he's starting all over again.
Winning his senior class in Aggie history. Davies tried to jam it back, missed it. Medlin coming up with it. Here's Brock Heath. Keyshawn Reed inside. Brunel attacking. Called for another offensive foul. Wow.
That's the 3rd charge that Davies has drawn this half. That time, his feet were set right on the edge of the key, and Brunel was just a little off balance as he fell into him. Davies took those fouls to heart. He's come to play here in the second half, and you see right there, Brunel, a little off balance, tripped right into him. The Aggies got to take advantage of these BYU misses, because right now, BYU is really controlling the tempo of this basketball game.
Going inside to Davies. I'm going to say Keyshawn Reed held him.
Seeing Davies is going to head to the foul line again. Whether he's shooting or just making his presence known in the post, he's finding ways to the foul line. And Keyshawn Reed doing his best to try and keep him away from getting the ball in the low block. Good defense by the Aggies.
Davies 2 of 6 from the charity stripe.
And neither team shooting the lights out tonight. You look at BYU, 20% from downtown, 57% from the free throw line. The Aggies only 64% from the free throw line and 27% from downtown. So a low-scoring defensive battle. We mentioned a lot of unanswered questions for both teams coming into this ball game, and it'll be interesting to see how both teams' seasons play out, what they learn from this game.
This is one of those barometer games for each program. It kind of exposes you a little bit. to find out really what you need to work on, because both programs have been solid, well coached, good athletes, all that kind of stuff. So it's a good game for both teams to see, well, where are we at here? Oh, beautiful move. Stephen Thornton with a field goal. The freshman from Valencia, California. Aggies within 2. Davies with a shot. Does not fall. Reed with a rebound.
Well, the Aggies need a little spark, and Thornton might be the guy off the bench.
Payne the jumper. Got it! Tied at 42. So loud here on the Spectrum, they were blowing the whistle, and they couldn't even hear it. Coach Rose calls for timeout. So the Aggies coming to life with 10-11 left.
Well, you take a look at what Brocky Payne can do. Once he gets going, he's good. Right there, pull-up jumper. But the thing is he hasn't been able to do that tonight because of the zone that BYU's playing. It's kept him from penetrating the lane. A great game plan by Dave Rose and company coming into the Spectrum. I'll tell you what, once the Aggies get going with the fans on their side, it could be a long night for the Cougars, because right now they're starting to change tides with emotion.
Hurd getting involved here. 10 minutes remaining, second half. Here's Davies spinning in the lane, blocked by Grimm. Sharp got it back. Whistles inside. It's going to be a tie ball situation. It'll stay, however, with BYU.
How about Grimm getting in Davies' grill, getting the block? A great block by Grimm. Davies is a big, long player. Grimm showing his athleticism right here. The spin move.
Looking inside. Utah State chance to take the lead. Brock Heath. Thornton, oh, he thought about it.
He wanted it.
Has that layup earlier to kind of spark this run by Utah State. Here's Reed. Gives it up. Medlin 3. Won't fall. Grimm and Davies battle for it. It'll stay with the Aggies.
Great couple possessions by Morgan Grimm. The senior showing his senior ability and some leadership out there right now. And Davies is going to head to the bench. But right there, 2 blocks. 2 critical blocks on Davies, and then that tie-up rebound. Right now, the Aggies are struggling to get a 3-ball to go.
As you mentioned, neither team shooting well from downtown. Back on. Reed, offensive rebound. Second chance. Payne gives it up to Medlin. Hit some big shots 2 years ago in this game. Back to Preston for 3. This time he got it. Aggies by 3, 45-42. Cougars turn it over. And Noah Hartsock says, relax, guys, relax. The Herd starting to have an impact here in the second half.
Well, look at Brock Heath. He dribbles, penetrates, kicks to Preston Medlin, and Medlin finally gets the 3-ball to go, and the roof's about to come off in the Spectrum. It's deafening. If you don't have earplugs, you're going to hurt tomorrow.
Only the 4th made 3 by the Aggies. They averaged 6 last season. Jardine wanted a foul on that. It'll stay with Utah State. Now, can the crowd keep this up, this kind of intensity and emotion?
Well, this is an important possession for Utah State. They've got to convert something here.
So in the backcourt, dangerous. Nice contest by Zylstra.
The length, once again, that's the thing, is their front line. You look at Zylstra and Rogers, 6'6", 6'8". Really cause problems with their length.
Shot clock down to 3. Payne in the lane. Back iron tipped by Jardine, won't fall. Thornton with the tip, that doesn't go. And a call against the Aggies.
Offensive goaltending.
Oh, offensive goaltending, they say. Wow.
You see Stu's beside himself. The ball was off the rim. That's an interesting call. That's the second offensive goaltending we've seen.
Collinsworth inside. offensive foul. Jardine is fired up. They are feeding now on this crowd.
You know, Jardine did a great job of beating Collinsworth to the spot. That's Collinsworth's third personal foul.
Inside 8 minutes to play, second half. Keyshawn Reed back outside. Medlin, tough shot. Whistle and a foul, and Preston now head to the free throw line. 4 fouls now on Rogers.
Medlin did a great job with the ball fake.
7:48 left. Is this one any good? Wow, 45-42.
Right here, a little spin move right at first. This is the and one, showing his versatility, showing what he worked on. He stepped out, down some big shots from in the perimeter. You get another look at that one, right on the baseline. And then how about this? Look at the pass from Brocky and the tomahawk throwdown. I mean, that's a big-time play. Jardine's stepping up defensively, takes a charge right there on Collinsworth. Great play and tremendous senior leadership is what we're seeing out of Brady Jardine tonight in this ball game. This is a crucial matchup.
In 28 minutes, 4 of 9 shooting, 9 points and 8 rebounds.
What do you think
Jardine?
What do you think that conversation is right there? You got me, I'll get you next time, or is it friendly? What'd you have for lunch?
The score has been tied 10 times, 9 lead changes. What a game. 47-42 after the made free throws. Charles Abuo. Here's Zylstra. Sharp is checking the game. Collinsworth back outside. Shot clock down to 5. Here's Abuo. He's in trouble. Down to 1. He's not going to get it off. Shot clock violation. Aggie defense coming up big.
You know, a crucial thing in college basketball, and you'll hear it over and over, is time and score. Right there, Abuo lost time and score.
Purchase your Utah State Women's Sports Pass today for only $50. You'll receive season admission to all USU women's basketball and gymnastic events. For more information on women's sports passes, call 1-88-U-STATE-1 or visit UtahStateAggies.com. Inside 7 minutes to play, second half, 47-42. Here's Payne. This one rolls in. Shades of last year against Weber State in his first game in the Spectrum.
A little pick and roll action right there. And they're picking the top guy on the zone. They're going to give the Aggies delay a game. I believe it was Payne, or it might have been Keyshawn Reed that pulled the ball out of the hoop. The next time will be a technical foul. But just a little pick and roll. You got to respect Payne. Once he gets into the lane, you know, it's Payne in the lane. When he gets into the lane, good things happen for the Aggies. The last couple of possessions, it's happened. That's why they have the lead.
Game so close. You saw the shooting percentages. 1 percentage point off. Offensive rebound, then taken away. Abuo will be called for the foul. He reached it on Thornton. Abuo, his second personal foul. And now 16 fouls on BYU. Payne saying, let's go, Hurd, we need you.
You know, this is the emotion that the Aggies are feeding off in the second half. They're doing a tremendous job. And with two young teams, you wonder, you know, who's going to feed off the emotion?
Lobbing it. Davies just takes that one away.
That's the length of Brandon Davies.
Davies, some handle. Here's Zylstra for 3. Jardine. Abuo gets another offensive rebound. Aggies having a hard time cleaning the glass. Davies inside over Jardine, gets the bounce.
Boy, how good is Brandon Davies? Right there, a tremendous post move. The thing that makes him good, you asked earlier, is I talked about his length, but also his athletic ability. When you're 6'9" with a 7'2" wingspan, and you can jump and control your body like that, you're tough to guard. Jardine's doing a tremendous job on him there.
Preseason All-WCC first teamer. Jardine in trouble. Back out to Payne. Payne splits 2 defenders. Foul will be called on Josh Sharp, the Utah transfer. Picks up his second personal foul, and now 7 team fouls.
So here in the last 5:33 of this ball game, it's going to be free throws for both teams on every foul. And this is the Aggies shooting 64% this far in the game. See if they can step up and knock down, especially the front end of one-and-ones that they're facing right here. And you should make these because it's your home court. You shoot in this gym every day. You put yourself in that mindset, and that's what Payne's doing now to step up and knock down these free throws. It's like he does it every day.
5.5 left.
A big gamble by Coach Rose right now. Bringing Rogers back in. A lot of times you'll see coaches wait till under 4 timeout to bring them into the game with 4 fouls.
And he lost it out of bounds. BYU turnover. It was a tough pass that time for Rogers. Couldn't hang on.
Zylstra just beside himself right there. Frustrated look on his face. And you wonder if the crowd's starting to get to him. As BYU back to their man defenses when the Aggies have been able to put some points on the board.
BYU zone has been problematic for Utah State, trying to get inside the Jardine. Tie ball situation, it'll be BYU basketball.
Brandon Davies just reached those big old long arms right over Jardine. Jardine's a strong body.
Inside 5 to play. Zylstra. Hartsock. Leading score for the Cougars. Lost it going up. Medlin with the rebound.
Good defense by Jardine. Not drawing a foul, just playing straight up man defense. Forcing Hartsock to shoot over him late here in the second half, where your legs get tired. That shot probably goes in the first half.
Here's Reed. Medlin. Pass was low, taken away by Davies. Davies showing you some handle. Brad wanted to travel a bit over 3. He's hit 2 of them. Rebound. Brockheath's got an easy 2 if he looks up. He does. Medlin scores. Nice pass that time by Payne. And Medlin, nice job running the floor. 4:12 left, and the Herd are in this one.
Now you look at Brockheath. Brockheath's fired up right now. The Aggies are really playing off emotion, and they're capitalizing on turnovers and defensive rebounds. Look at Brockheath, always got his head up, and then Medlin gets the foul, or gets the bucket. He could have been fouled by Abuo. You get another look right here. Abuo does a good job trying to avoid him. Kind of took out, undercut Medlin. Medlin hit the deck. I'll tell you what, playing off a lot of emotion here in the Spectrum right now. Those guys right there, they're liking what they're seeing.
Medlin now in double figures with 11 points. Aggie fans, you can connect with Utah State Athletics anytime online. Become a fan on the official USU Athletics Facebook page and follow the Aggies on Twitter. For more information, visit UtahStateAggies.com. Of course, I follow Utah State Athletics on Twitter. Several updates.
If you're an Aggie fan, why not? That's where you're going to get your updated information.
Take it away. Payne scores again. The lead is 11.
Not what Coach Rose wanted out of a timeout. You get the pressure of Brockheath Payne.
The ball is free. Jardine picks it up. Whistle, and they're going to say he walked with it.
How about that? It is so loud in here, they could not even hear the whistle. Boy, how about Payne bringing the pain? I mean, just active defensively, active hands.
3:49 left, 55-44. A play of the game, Brooks Hansen, and it just happened.
Okay, you talk about the IFA play of the game. You look at Brockheath Payne stealing it from Zylstra right out of a timeout. That's what's big. And then the stare down. You come out of the timeout. That's the timeout Coach Rose called after a big play before that. They end up getting the easy bucket. You know, you look at this, Michael. The Aggies now have a +6 advantage on the rebounds. They were down 16-8 and 12-6 at one point. On points in the paint, they've now tied at 16-16 on points in the paint. That's why they're winning. Not because of shooting, because neither team's shooting a high percentage and burning up the nets. They're getting it done in the paint, and they're scoring off turnovers. The Aggies 17 points off turnovers, BYU 12.
And the rebounding has picked up for Utah State the last 5 minutes. Now out rebounding BYU 30-24, so +6 there. So here we go after the wet spot was cleaned up. Abuo working on Thornton. Got in the lane and scored, and has a chance for a three-point play.
Has an opportunity to cut this to an 8-point game. A great play by Coach Rose, calling the timeout. Isolate Abuo on the young freshman. Thornton, Abuo, a strong senior. I mean, this is an experienced basketball player that went to the Sweet 16. Mentioned both these teams went to the NCAA tournament last year. They've been in the NC2A, so a lot of experience with him.
Shooting into that, knocked it down. 3-point play, cuts it to 8 with 3:40 left. And pressure here by BYU.
They're just going to put man-to-man pressure full court. A lot what the Aggies have been doing to BYU all game long. They're going to extend it. They got their best on-ball defender in Abuo.
See where Utah State will go for offense on this trip. Keith has it. With the drive, here's Thornton for 3. Abuo with another rebound. Abuo has done well with rebounding in this ball game. There's Davies. Going right against Reed. And a travel is called on Davies.
You know,
so he turns it over.
He's done that twice tonight. He's so strong and he uses his body so well. Sometimes defensively, the defender like Keyshawn Reed just did, back off him a little, play him with some space, let him travel.
So BYU red hot to start the second half, but since that time, 2 of 15.
Hope to see the Aggies burn some clock right here.
Approaching 2.5 to play. Shot clock now down to 8. Medlin corner.
It all started with the penetration by Brock Eath once again. Brock Eath had Charles Abuo turning circles. Charles second guessed and went in the wrong direction.
Boy, physical down low.
They're going to give Abuo 2 shots on that. I thought Thornton was doing a great job staying in front of Abuo. Abuo just showing his strength.
And he's always been strong. High school, he would punish defenders. Backing them down and able to finish on drives. Now at the line again and misses. Maybe Michael Jordan threw him off there in the upper left.
You take a look at Medlin, spotting up in the corner. He's got 2 of them to go, but I mentioned Brock Eath. He spun Abuo around defensively, got into the lane. As soon as they collapsed, that 3-pointer in the corner is wide open.
1 of 2. And it's 58-48. Out of bounds.
Abuo is going to get called with his 3rd personal foul, and now the Aggies need to knock their free throws on down the stretch if they want to win this game. BYU's no sleeper. They'll make you pay if you don't make them. I believe it's going to be Mitch Burnell at the foul line.
Headline shooting 1-1, Mitch Burnell. Morgan Graham back in the game for Keyshawn Reed.
Burnell, 6'5", 205, sophomore from Boise, Idaho. Got off to a great first half, had 8 points in the first half, and misses the front end.
I mentioned the front ends of 1-and-1s is what would haunt the Aggies if they can't make these.
10-point ball game as we approach 2 minutes. Davies to Rogers, who was lights out in that first half. He and this guy right here, Hartsock, were terrific, and that's a nice drive. And move against Jardine, cutting it to 8. So timeout has been called with 1:53 remaining in this game, and that bucket narrowing the deficit to 8 for BYU.
Well, I mentioned if they can't make their free throws, especially the front ends of 1-and-1s, BYU will make you pay.
Utah State Athletics offers a specially priced ticket package for December's Gosner Tournament. Tickets are on sale now for the Gosner Tournament package. That includes single-game tickets to Texas Arlington, St. Peter's, and Kent State basketball games for only $45. To purchase the package, contact the Utah State ticket office in the Smith Spectrum by calling 1-88-U-STATE-1 or visit the athletics website, UtahStateAggies.com. Packages are available while supplies last.
You take a look at Brock Heath Payne, our Sports Academy Racket Club Planet Fitness player of the game. 15 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds. Just a complete game coming from Brock Heath, and most of that's been here in the second half. Right there, that was our IFA play of the game when he stole it from Zylstra out of the timeout, put it in, and the stare down afterwards. Brock Heath Payne playing fantastic. You know, last year in their opener, they had an in-state rival against Weber State. Their point guard, Damian Lillard, we'll see him next week with the Aggies, a tremendous player. They went head-to-head, and Brock Heath really took over in the second half of that game as well.
At 23 points, remains his career high, but he and Ty Wesley, when there was that lull in the second half, picked up the slack. Brock Heath, we had Grimm back, thinking to play some clock, though. Go the conservative route. Why not? You have an 8-point advantage.
Yeah, smart move. It wasn't a guaranteed 2 coming from Grimm. Hartsock was there. Now Davies is going to get this foul. Jardine's got to knock down their free throws. They're still in a bonus situation with 19 fouls. But smart play by Brock Heath. Work some clock. The clock's their best friend right now. If they can make free throws and use some clock, they'll have the ability to ice this game away.
Jardine now at the line. Makes good on the front end. Brunel going out, Thornton coming in.
You know, a lot of teams with a lot of freshmen and sophomores that we're seeing tonight. It's interesting to see how it plays into effect the rest of their season. I think both coaches are getting a lot of questions answered on who's performing in the big environments.
Aggies fewest returning starters since 01-02. That year they finished 23-8. Abuo. Thornton with a hand check.
Going to be Thornton's third foul. Stu didn't like the call. Thornton's been playing pretty good defense, but I'll tell you what, Abuo, he's really attacking him. You can see it in his eyes when Abuo gets the ball. He's going hard to the hoop.
Talked about Charles Abuo, went to nearby Logan High School. Coach Brimhall here watching his former player. Makes good on the first. One more coming up.
This is what BYU wants. They want to score points with the clock stop. And so far, you know, they give up 1 bucket. They're getting 2 here. Look for them to put the pressure on. They're staying in that man-to-man pressure. See how the Aggies break it this time.
Brunel back into the ball game. Grimm. Aggies able to beat the pressure, getting it. Throws it down. Exclamation point.
Wow, are you kidding me? Brady Jardine jumped from outside the key on that one and just went right up over the defender. He landed right on top of Hartsock with some authority. That's what Jardine does. I mean, he leaps over people. It's amazing to watch his leaping ability. It's almost freakish.
Such a tremendous athlete. A 43-inch vertical leap by Jardine can elevate over just about anybody. Still says his best dunk was the one last year on the road against St. Mary's, which is a WCC team like BYU. Now, of course, BYU came to the West Coast Conference. They're selected 3rd in that conference. Of course, the Zags have won the WCC 11 years in a row. Utah State, they have won 43 of the last 46 regular season games. Of course, the only losses to Idaho, Georgetown, and BYU last season. So, amazing performance being put together by the Aggies during the course of the regular season. Of course, neither of these teams lose that much.
Well, there's Brunel dishing it off to Jardine, and see Jardine just go up, hammer it, and lands right on top of Hartsock. And there you have a look at it. Wow. That's some emotion right there. I know he didn't burn any clock, but that gives you a lot of emotion. The Aggies got to be careful right now to not give up a big bucket. BYU still in this game. A minute 14 with timeouts is a lot of time. BYU with one timeout left.
Here's Rogers. Well, Davies wants it, got it inside. Scored and was fouled, and a chance for a three-point play. So just what Coach Rose wanted, to be able to score, and a chance now for a three-point play with the clock stopped at 1:02. And Davies back to the line. He does such a tremendous job of getting to the foul line.
Boy, he just continually gets buckets, and really quiet right there. Morgan Grimm gets beat on the low block and fouls him from behind. No, you don't
rattles home.
You don't get the three-pointer, but you get the three the old-fashioned way.
Grimm in the corner is going to be fouled by Noah Hartsock, who's got some tissue in his nose to stop the bleeding. In a physical game.
That's going to be 3 on Hartsock. You got Grimm with 4. Most everybody has about 3 fouls to 4 fouls in this ballgame. It's been physical. I mean, you mentioned it. Hartsock's got the blood nose strip, the stopper in his nose, and Jardine came out limping. Grimm came out limping one time.
Hits on the first. One more for Grimm. Back iron, Davies with the rebound. Inside of a minute to play. Here's Rogers. Davies wants it again. Pirouetting in the paint. Got another one. Davies now trying to carry this team in the last 48 seconds. Payne with Zylstra falling down, and then Payne was out of bounds, but he was pushed. And Abu now picking up his 4th personal foul. Stops the clock with 41 seconds left. Important free throws coming up.
Big free
for
throws.
Brock Payne.
Big free throws for Brock Heath. He's got to step up and knock these down.
Hits on the first. Of course, the MVP of the 2011 WAC tournament. WAC preseason player of the year. The Aggies expecting big things from him, and he delivers with 2 made free throws. 41 seconds left. Drains it from the outside. And a quick timeout here with 37 seconds.
Boy, they will not go away. You take a look at this, 64-59. It's only a 5-point game. And Rogers with that floater from about 20 feet. How did he get that thing to go?
During the last 12 years, Utah State, they have averaged 25 wins per season, a winning percentage of 77%, 4th best in the NCAA. Still looking to improve to 7-7 against BYU. And of course, they have not lost in November at home. They have won 27 straight home games. They have the lead here, 64-59 with 37 seconds left. Medlin to inbound for the Aggies. Goes deep. Here's Payne. Launches it home. 66-59, 30 seconds left of Buo.
His ability to get up and dunk.
Leaked out and threw it down. There it is. Medlin bringing it up. Once again, gets it to Thornton, to Jardine, missed it. Grimm battles for it. Out of bounds, it'll stay with Utah. Turnovers, 20 now for BYU, 18 for Utah State.
The Aggies just looking to run clock, and they're going to get the foul. Steven Rogers, his fifth foul.
Rogers had a tremendous game in the first half for BYU. They couldn't stop him in that first half. But he's fouled out, and DeMarcus Harrison, the freshman, has checked in his absence. And so Medlin now at the line. 92% free throw shooter 2 years ago. Missed the first. One more coming up for Preston, who redshirted last year. Of course, they had Brian Green, who did such a great job filling in that role.
And Preston's supposed to fill in nice for Brian Green. He's shown us some shooting ability tonight. He's hit some big shots in this game.
Down to 10 seconds. Three ball is good by Abuo. He's got another one. Away from the basketball, they're going to get Noah Hartsock. He and Green mixing things up a little bit. And now winning team, losing team chant. We'll let you listen.
So confusion with the officials. Some had Hartsock and Grimm away from the ball, and Zylstra and Payne on the ball. So the one official said, no. Before that happened, I had the call on Zylstra. So they gave that foul to Zylstra, not Hartsock, and put Payne on the line, not Grimm.
Payne makes the first. Brock Heath has been clutch. 20 points. Just like last year against Weber State, where he had 23 and kind of willed the Aggies to start 1-0 against an in-state opponent. Zylstra puts it up. Front iron, Davies rebound. It doesn't matter, it's too late. The Aggies have beaten the Cougars 69-62. Fine way to begin the 2011-2012 season. A sweet victory over BYU. Dave Rose now 5-2 in opening on the road. His team, a good effort. No question they'll be competitive in the WCC. But what a battle this was here tonight. Very physical. You love to see the sportsmanship. Of course, a lot of these players knew each other from high school. The rivalry goes way back. So Davies and the Cougars 0-1 to start the year. Brooks, take it away.
Thanks, MC. Got Brock Heath Payne here. Brock Heath, a slow start in the first half. It took you a while to get going. Talk about your performance.
Like I said, I was in foul trouble in the first half, but a lot of things I could get better at. I turned the ball over way too much. But I just try to help my team in every way. They don't have a true point guard right now, so I just tried to play hard as I could on the ball and just get steals to cause havoc. Like I say, we've been going at each other for 2 weeks straight. And, it's a packed house. Like I said, the spectrum is packed, and everybody was just ready to play. It was a totally team effort.
Was their zone pretty daunting, the length on their front line?
Yeah, that's a real big zone. But we worked on it in practice. We got a pretty big scout team, but yeah, that zone caused a lot of problems for us. We really didn't shoot the ball as well as we wanted to, but we got the win. We got our first win, so we're just happy about that.
All right, thanks, Brock Heath. You're our player of the game. Back to you, Michael.
All right, thank you, Brock Heath and Brooks. Brockheath, 21 points to pace the Aggies and was tremendous in that second half. We'd like to thank USU Sports Information Director Doug Hoffman, and thank you for watching this production of Utah State Basketball. Our final score, Utah State 69, BYU 62. Our next telecast will be tomorrow. Football as the Aggies take on the San Jose State Spartans, 1 p.m. on KCSG. The preceding was a Syscom Sports presentation for executive producer Bob Stokes, director and producer Trevor Stokes, and our entire staff, and Brooks Hanson. I am Michael Clanton saying so long from the Spectrum in Logan, Utah. Aggies off to a 1-0 start.
During